guys, welcome to another video of Shut and Voyages. Today I have something really exciting for you. This is the new Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. Mind you, this is the Ultra variant. Samsung actually launched two variants this time. One was the normal Note 20 and the other one is this, the Note 20 Ultra. So let's just get into it and let's review the device and let's see how this device is in reality. So let's just start.
So let's talk about design. This is the device. This is a very beautiful glass brick. The display is huge. The device has water drop notch. It's very small. The fingerprint scanner, the placement of the fingerprint scanner is also good. They have shifted it a little downwards. The in-hand feel of the device is really good. The back of the device is a matte finish. Samsung has tried something different this time with the colors, and the bronze color really shows. I think after S6 or S7 they are bringing this color back. It's really good. You will definitely love the color. One thing that I'd like to point specifically is that the matte finish on the glass at the back, similar to the iPhone, it gives the phone a good feel in the hand and good grip. It doesn't let the phone slip easily. So it's a very welcome move from Samsung. So one thing I'd like to point out is that the camera bump on the device is huge. I mean, this is the biggest camera bump I've ever seen in a device. One thing that I really like is the ring addition of the rings on the individual lens. This is something that was not present on the S20 series. That kind of makes the phone look a little more elegant and little more better. So let's talk about the bottom of the device. This is the USB Type C. These are the speaker grills. That is the antenna bar, and this is the S Pen. The S Pen, it just goes in out. It's one thing I'd like to show in this is the protruding camera bump by the side and from the back. So you can clearly see how outwards the camera bump is visible. So let's talk about the sides of the device. This is the right hand side. Right hand side, it has the power button and the volume up and down. The buttons are clicky. You won't have any issues there. The sides are aluminum. Okay. So left hand side, it's clean. There's nothing. The Bixby button is gone. I really appreciate Samsung for taking away the Bixby button. It was useless. So now the top, this is the SIM. This is the microphone, and this is the camera bump. You can clearly see even from the top point. It's that dust can settle. It's that huge. Other than that, this is the quick overview of the design of the device. It's a big device. One thing I'd like to point. It's not something for someone who enjoys a small device. It's huge and a heavy device, but it's not a one-hand phone. You cannot reach the top corner of the device safely. For someone like me who doesn't like using case on the device, it's an issue about safety of the device. One thing I specifically like to point out is the palm rejection of the device. Sometimes, it's like 9 out of 10 times it works great, but the one time that it doesn't, it's very weird and the screen starts acting weird. This is my general pain point with all the curved displays. They eventually cause some problems because of the palm rejection software. So not again of a big complaint. I'm nitpicking here. This is the S Pen, and this is the button of the S Pen. S Pen is something that redefines Note from the rest of the phones in the market. It's not like you need an S Pen, but if it's there, it's useful. I have personally realized that at times, if I need to just jot down something, the Note works great. The S Pen works great. Samsung has really improved the S Pen's latency this time. There's nothing much improved other than the latency. It kind of brings it at par with the iPad and the latency of the Apple Pencil. It's 9 millisecond. So you won't actually feel a lot of difference comparing it with the Apple Pencil. It's huge compared to the old series. The swipe actions and all the air gestures, which never works with me, I don't know why. but it's a finicky Samsung software, so I cannot show you, but yeah, it's there. The casing is inside the device. It just houses the S Pen, and it charges inside the device also. Okay, so we cannot talk about a Samsung device and not talk about the beautiful display. This is the Super AMOLED uh, 2K display. It's 120 hertz display, but you have to use the phone at 1080p. If you have to use 120 hertz, I don't know why. If OnePlus can do it on their phones very easily, Samsung can do it on their phones. But that is something of a software update which can be fixed via software update. So you can expect in future, but they haven't fixed it in S20 series yet. So let's see how things go. But the screen in general, one thing I can say about the device confidently is display. The display on this device is the best I have ever used on any phone. Rest I have my doubts, I have confusion, there are arguments, but on the display it's clear winner. Samsung makes the best displays in the market. One thing that I was reading a lot of complaints from the user is the green tint issues. It's mostly available on the 120 hertz displays these days, but I cannot find any green tint issues with my screen. The blacks are completely black. It's an HDR10 display, so the blacks are completely black, and there are not a lot of issues like that in the color. Also, it's vivid Samsung display.
So talking about the performance of the Note 20 Ultra, it's really a complicated story. I mean, it's Snapdragon and then the Exynos variant. I mean, I'm not saying any of the device is good or bad, but there are slight differences in the performance of the device, and it's really surprising that Samsung is doing this to a lot of consumers around the world. There are a lot of differences in the inside components also. This is the Exynos variant. They have launched the Exynos variant in India. So it's really surprising for me that Samsung is still choosing to go with. I mean, I understand that it increases their profit and it's better for them, but as a brand, they should think a little about the consumer also. I mean, I would love a Note 20 with the Snapdragon 865 Plus series processor. I mean, this could have been the best performing Android phone in the market, but sadly it is not because of the Exynos limitations. There are a little, it's like it's just flagship, it's just the best. It's not the best, it's just the best. So it's not really something you should be worried about, but let's quickly see about the performance of the device.
Performance, this is a flagship grade phone. I'm really confused about how to tell you about the performance of this device. I cannot say that this is a bad performing phone. Let me quickly show you the Geekbench score. As I told you, I'm really confused. This is a 808 and 2664 score. Uh, it's not the best in the market. I mean, it's not as par with the Snapdragon one, but it's still a flagship processor. Let me quickly show you the PUBG performance, PUBG gaming review. I mean, everybody plays PUBG and you guys want me to play PUBG a lot. I receive a lot of DMs on my Instagram. One thing, if you want me to make a specific video on the gaming performance of this device or any device, tell me in the comments and we'll work on that. I don't play a lot of games on my phone these days though, but I'll do it. The display is beautiful. You can see in this big huge display, playing games will be a grace. It will be a very great experience for you, and for anyone who is looking for a gaming device, this is a pretty decent device along with the productivity tools it offer. uh, One thing I have faced is that device gets a little hot after a long usage. I mean, it's not something of a fire break in your hand. It's not that hot, but it's still a little hot. And even I have noticed this thing that the device gets hot in the small tasks, small day-to-day tasks like YouTubing, browsing, Netflix. So yeah, definitely I have noticed that. And the other thing is the speaker. I really dislike the placement of the speaker. It gets blocked easily while playing games. And a single speaker in 2020, I mean, come on, Samsung, you can do better than that. Uh, Although you can turn the device and play, and again, the speaker won't be blocked. But yeah, okay, what is this? Oh, PUBG has changed a lot. So yeah, let me quickly show you. There's no jitteriness, no lag. It's smooth, and the device I'm running the game at the ultra settings, so you won't have any issues playing the game at ultra settings or practically running anything at ultra settings on this device.
This device has actually three cameras, as you can see. Samsung is still doing the zoom thing, although it has now been reduced from the crazy 100x in the S20 Ultra to 50x and the 5x periscope zoom. It's a decent camera. I cannot say it's the best in the market. Sometimes it's like just wow. Samsung HDR and some of the detailing in the images is great. The color production with this reproduction with this image is great. Overall, it's a great camera. I'll be attaching a few samples, so let's check out the few samples and see for yourself about the camera.
Now let's talk about the camera system. It's a triple camera system. One is the Samsung's periscope zoom of 5x and digital zoom up to 50x. The second camera is the normal 108 megapixel camera. The third is the wide angle lens. Samsung has added the autofocus, the laser autofocus, which has improved a lot of pain points from the earlier versions of the S20 series. The bump still I'm including is huge. It's something that your eyes will quickly go to the bump part of the device. It's that big. It makes any bump on any other phone to shame. It's that big of a. So here is the video from the back camera. As you can see, the dynamic range is great. It's a little hard to get out now, so I'm just trying my best to show you. You can see the clouds and everything. The dynamic range is really good. Talking about the battery life on this device, it's again it's a middle ground. It's not perfect, it's not top of the line, which you expect from a Note device because they used to be the powerhouse in everything. So Note used to be where Samsung used to push the limits, but now it's the Fold series. Still, the device is great. I have charged the device. I mean, in my mixed usage, it's usually lasts me a day. It's not something that it has a poor battery performance. In general, it's a decent battery. The fast charging charges the phone in almost 90 minutes. So it's a fast plus wireless charging. Again, it supports fast wireless charging. So you have a lot of options for charging also. It does support the reverse wireless charging also. So you can charge your wireless devices via the phone. Still, it's a mixed review on the battery part for me. Software on the Samsung has always been something that I have not liked a lot, but with the time being, Samsung has improved a lot in the software department with the introduction of the One UI. They have trimmed down the version and of their own skin over Android. It's still not a stock Android phone. It will never be a stock Android phone, but overall, it's a decent operating system, decent skin on top of Android. One thing I really hate is the additional apps Samsung provides. There are two apps for everything. You have two browsers, you have two SMS apps, you have two files app. There are a lot of two apps, and I actually forgot to uninstall any of mine. You can uninstall those apps, but still, it adds one task to your, uh, phone changing experience, which I really don't like. I don't like a lot of bloatware on my phone.
So, concluding the video, I'm really confused about the S20 Ultra series. I mean, it's not a bad device. In fact, I love this device and I really want to use this device for a very long time. But there are a few personal gripes, and I'm nitpicking. I know I'm nitpicking, but I have to nitpick. This is 1 lakh plus device. I mean, it's a very, very costly device. So I have to point out the few problems of this device because supposedly it should be a perfect phone, and Note has always been the bearer of the flagship design and flagship everything in the Android world. But sadly, it's not anymore now. So I cannot say that this is a bad phone. I cannot say that this is a perfect phone. This is a middle ground. The screen, it's perfect. No complaints there. Software, it's a little meh. Coming to the next part, hardware, again, I'm confused about the hardware also. It's not something you would expect in a 1 lakh phone to, specifically as I mentioned earlier also in the video, that the phone gets heated up a little. Even in the basic task, like when you are browsing or when you are watching Netflix, the phone gets heated up because there's apparently no copper cooling chamber inside the phone. It's just a simple graphite chamber which is used in a lot of cheap phones. So it's a confusing thing for me. But if you are in the market and if you are looking for this beautiful S Pen, well, there is no other device and there is no one out there with a stylus built into the phone. So overall, if you are looking and a fanatic for the S Pen, you should definitely get this device. Samsung has done a great job with the device. But if you are someone whose needs are a little different and a little more precise, like a better camera or specifically a better speaker, a better performance, there are a lot of devices in the market with a lot less price. So that's about it with the video. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Hope to see you in the next one, and I'll be bringing more content for you soon. So thank you so much, guys. See you in the next one.